Hi guys, how are you doing? My name is Dipendra Sethi, and in this video I'll be showing you how to create a model box using pure CSS, no jQuery, no JavaScript, nothing like that. So as you can see, as soon as I click on this click me button, a model box appears with a smooth animation and a the content window in the center of the screen. The background overlay of blackish tone with the transparency, as you can still might see the content in the back of the page. And as soon as I click on the cross button, it just disappears with another animation. So we'll be just creating this using pure CSS, and some of you might be curious to curious okay, some of you might be curious to know that, as we all have been told that we need JavaScript to add in interactivity on our website, which is actually true. But sometimes you can leverage the full potential of CSS to accomplish the small tasks like this one. So without wasting any more time of yours, let's begin. So over here we have a clean page. Okay, before I begin coding, I just want you to sit back, relax, and just watch the video. Just understand what is happening and how things are happening, because this might be like a bit longer than the one that I have created earlier, and I want you to understand the functionality. Okay, and later on you can just try it by yourself, and if you like stuck anywhere in between, you can just get back to the video to understand how I did. Okay, so just sit back and relax. You don't need to do this side by side. Okay, I'll just creating a like boilerplate or boiler HTML plate, the basic structure, the AC developer, and I won't be focusing upon much on the styling and all, because you're not for that. Okay, you're not here for that. Okay, I'll be creating an anchor tag with a model open class. Okay, and the another one that I'll be creating is a model. Okay, I will be using BEM methodology for styling guide. If you have not heard about it, you can just Google it, BEM CSS, and you'll just get the first link or something like that. Okay, I'll be creating a div with a class name for model. Within it, we'll be having another model content. All right. So what is model? What is content? The model one would be the basic, the background color overlay, the blackish tone, and the content one would be the one which was in the center of the screen, having all the content, the cross button, the close button, and all the content that we want to put in to our model box. Okay, so with that, we'll be creating a h2 tag, heading 2 tag, model heading. I'll just give it Daisy developer and a paragraph of, oh, not class, model paragraph. All right, I'll just add in some lorem ipsum. All right, so we have it over here. It's looking a bit nice. I'm just kidding. Okay, so we'll just add the anchor, we'll just add in text of open model, like something like that. Okay, so we have the content, we have everything, so let's just begin. I'll be using on-page styling because why not? I just don't want to waste much time of yours using external style sheets and linking it. Okay, on-page SEO and just some base some basic, okay, some basic styling with resetting of padding 0, box sizing, border box, perfect. All right, and body of font family of sans serif. All right, perfect. All right, so with that, let's just begin. Okay, I'll just select the model one, the model, the blackish tone, the one that just covers the background. Okay, and I'll be giving it a background color of RGBA. Okay, not hexadecimal, not RGBA. Why? Because we want to give that alpha value, the transparency value. So 000, which is black, and 0.8, which is equivalent to 80%. So 80% transparency. All right, so it is actually looking nice, but not yet noticeable. But okay, right now, as you can see, the anchor tab, it is just covering only the content. Okay, which is actually pretty obvious. So we'll just give it a width of 100% and a height of 100 VH. Now what is VH? VH is basically view height. So it basically means that just cover the view height of the user's device, whatever the value it is. So let me just save it up, and you can just see what is happening over here. But the problem over here is that it is not taking over this one, it is just leaving space for this open model. Okay, for that we'll just do one thing: position absolute. Okay, with giving position absolute, we can just give it any numeric value for the positioning, and left 0, top 0, and it is above it. Okay, and we can just give it a z index of 10. Just make sure the z index is greater than the entire z indices the plural form of indices of every z index on your page, so that it takes over everything. Okay, z index of 0. Okay, that is looking nice. And what do we want to do? Okay, so we are actually done with the model, the container. Now we will just select in the model content. Actually, it was a bit it would have been a bit easier if I use CSS as. Okay, never mind. Model content. Now we'll be selecting the one in the one which actually contains the content. Okay, we'll give it a width of 70%, no, just 75, not 7, and a height of about 65%. All right, background color of white. All right, so that is actually looking nice. And we just want to position it, so we will give it a position absolute. Okay, and top 50%, left 50%. All right, so that is not what we want. Why is this happening? So this is basically happening because the positioning takes place from the edges, from the sides. So it is the point over here is actually the center of the view, the device, the screen. But we actually don't want, we want the center of the content, the model content. So we'll just solve it using transform translate -50 -50. All right, so voila, that is exactly what we want. Okay, we'll just give it a padding of 2em. 2em would be 32 pixels. Let me just see. Okay, that is pretty good. Okay, so we are actually done with this one. And one second, I guess I missed out the close button, so I'll add in another anchor tag, model close, with a hyperlink reference of hash, and we can just use the X over here, but instead of that you can just add in this code ampersand, the and symbol, and times with a semicolon. So it'll basically add a nice close button. We'll just remove this underline as it is an anchor tag, so it is a pretty default value. So one second, link a visited. So we'll just give it a, wait, not this one, text decoration none. Perfect. All right, so we'll just give it a good styling on this one. Model, what was it? Model close. All right, we'll give it a hexadecimal value of this. All right, it is actually looking nice. And I'll just give it a font, not font family, a font size of 2em. Let me just see. Okay, that is actually looking nice. A position absolute of top 2em and right 2em, because we want it to be on the right side of the page. So not what we want, because it is taken over here. So let me just change it to 1em, and let me see. Okay, that is actually looking nice. We can just give it a bit less em, and it might be all right. It is looking perfect. You can just do the custom styling by yourself. Okay, model heading of about Dodger blue, margin bottom of 1em. Let me see. Okay, that is looking perfect. And model paragraph of line height 1 em. Let me just see. Okay, not so good. 2 em. Oh wait, that is too much. 1.5 em. That'll work. Okay, so over here we have the stuff. We have the model on the back, the background, and the content over in the middle. Now what's next? Would you mind if I just give it a border radius, as the sharp edges is like cutting, no, cutting my skin. 1 second, of about 1 em. Let me just see if that looks fine. Okay, that actually looks good to me. Okay, so we have the model, we have the content. What's next? All right, so this is the moment. We'll give it opacity of 0, visibility of hidden. What is opacity of 0? It basically gives a transparency of 0. That means it is not at all visible on the website. But if you don't set the visibility property to hidden, it won't be visible to the eyes. But if you can just move your cursor through it, you can actually select the text, select the content on it. So we just have to put in hidden. Okay, we are not putting display none over here. Some of you might be curious why we are not doing that, because we cannot add the transition, add the animation to display none. Okay, so we just want the same value to be on this one. All right, so it is actually hidden. And 1 second, just a second, where is it? Model, open the click me button. I just want to give a basic styling because it is looking lonely. All right, margin of 2 em. Okay, so it will be a bit. Okay, perfect. Yeah, opacity 0, visibility hidden to both of them. So what do we want to do is, if you're not aware of it, okay, whatever value that I add in after the hashtag in the hyperlink reference of an anchor tag, let me just put in hello there baby. Okay, and if I click upon it, this hello there baby gets appended in the URL. So we can actually use that in CSS. How is that? Now 1 second, we'll just set it. Now this basically, if we give it a value of an ID on our page, if you're aware of it, you can just try it. If I give it a value after the hash, a value of ID on any part of a page, like if I give it a model, okay, now I'm supposed to give an ID to any element with the same name as model. So if I click upon it, it'll just go direct through it, okay, to the content on a page. Okay, so I'll give it a model ID. Okay, so model target. All right, opacity 1, visibility visible. All right, so if I click upon it, what do you expect? Oh, what is this? What just happened? All right, don't get confused. See, as you can see, it is pretty much obvious the model getting appended because we added in the hyperlink reference of that particular anchor tag. Okay, so the magic is happening over here. So it basically is saying, if I can even use ID, if this ID is selected, if this ID is targeted, okay, if this ID is targeted in the URL, okay, if this ID is targeted in the URL, what do you have to do? You just have to set the opacity of the model to 1 and visibility to visible. Okay, so it might be a bit confusing to you in the beginning, but it is really that simple. So model target. Now if this ID is selected, if this ID is targeted in the window, I want to select the model content, and I want to set the opacity to 1 with the visibility to visible. Okay, so it's just that simple. So if I just remove this and click on it, all right, I didn't save, I guess. One second. Okay, not visibility, but visible. All right, so yeah, it is visible. Let me just show you once again what just happened. So click it. Okay, that's perfectly fine. And as soon as I click the anchor tag, the close button, which is actually an anchor tag over here, as you can see, it'll redirect to the hash. Okay, so what is hash? So as soon as the model, see this property, these property will apply only if the model is targeted. Okay, so as soon as the targeted value changes to something else, it'll just disappear, just like magic. Okay, that is awesome. Okay, once again, yeah, so we just might as well add in transition all 0.5 seconds, half a second, perfectly fine. And visibility. So with that, I guess we are done. Let me just see. All right, awesome. This shit actually looks nice, isn't it? So one second. Okay. Okay, I was a bit lost over there. Actually, someone was at the door. Anyway, so we have this end product. Okay, I will be leaving a link to this code, to the gist, and you can just view it over there if you have any queries and questions. Okay. Alright, so thank you for watching, and if you have any queries, so just leave it in the comments and I'll make sure that I'll help you through it.